Rise and shine, my mothers and my brothers. I'm really psyched. I can't wait to get home today because I ordered a Savinelli pipe, a 673 from thepipenook.com, Eddie Gray. And I'm very excited about it because everything that I've read about this Roma pipe, it's a Roma ebonite stem. I'll do a video about it. Everything that I've seen about this, it's just gotten such fantastic reviews. And then I'm also going to be reviewing some tobaccos in the pipe that I purchased. So I'm very psyched up about this. And I'm going to put a link in the next video. Actually, I'll put a link in this video and also in the product review. And if you're fans of Match's 860, is one of his favorite pipes is a Savinelli 673 Roma shape. And then I did some Googling and I found out, I mean, this thing is getting just absolute great reviews everywhere. And that people are saying it's their favorite pipe of all time. I have one Savinelli, and I'm pretty pumped about this one, and I'm debating whether I want to dedicate the pipe to a certain blend or a certain style of tobacco. I'm not sure. I do have some dedicated pipes that, and I do that for a reason. I'm certainly not going to be puffing Bill Bailey's Balkan blend in a pipe that I also smoke like a cherry Danish style tobacco. And I have a wonderful Danish pipe that I only use for cherry tobacco. And no other fruit, no other flavoring, just cherry. And I actually have used it's a cherry with a little bit of Jamaican rum in it, the Cherry Ambrosia, which I love, McBaron. Love that blend. I will not put anything else in it. So I'm deciding what do I want to put into my Savinelli, my new Savinelli pipe. I'm going to be breaking it in the next week. And we're going to be talking about breaking in pipes. I'm going to put a link down below to the pipe that I purchased, which I think you're really going to enjoy. I'm renaming the pipe the Sultanelli. Of course, right? The Sultanelli. I already know that I'm going to like it. Google it. Savinelli Roma 673. And I really think you're going to like the shape. It's kind of a modified interpretation of a Rhodesian pipe, for those of you that are familiar with that kind of thing. Thank you. You know what's interesting is people always let me go in traffic all the time. And I really think the reason, and when people drive with me, they always say, people always give you a break all the time when you drive. And I honestly, you know what I think the reason is? Because I always give a break. I'm not in a hurry. Even when I'm in a hurry, I'm not in a hurry. I don't let it manifest itself in my driving. So I always give people a break. I'm always waving people on. And the reality is, I always get waved on. If there's traffic, there's always someone who kind of lets me kind of break in there. And I think it's just kind of it's a weird what goes around comes around kind of thing, if you understand what that means. So Google Savinelli Roma 673. I am stoked. This is the first time I ever did a it's like a post-purchase, pre-delivery video on a pipe. And I'm excited about it. And everything that I've read, everything that I've seen, the people that are puffing on them in the videos are just ecstatic about it. And since I've expanded my writing recently, and some pipes, believe it or not, I use some pipes for when I'm writing. I use some pipes for when I'm just watching videos and various content. And I think this is going to be a reading pipe. A lot of times the reading pipes, I'm sorry, a writing pipe. The writing pipes I like, I'll tell you why, hold on a second. Let me just grab this is my car cob right here. I keep a couple pipes. I have 3 pipes for the car. This is a Missouri Meerschaum, Missouri Pride bent. When I am writing, I'm a clencher. So I do this if I'm writing or typing. Take a puff, and it doesn't get a lot of moisture, and I find that it's very functional. The stem is small enough. It's not something that I have to hold, puff, take away. And I'm not a heavy clencher, so my teeth aren't all crooked from me like biting down. I've seen pictures of guys' pipe stems that are like chewed up like a dog toy. I don't do that. I'm more of a hanger, so when I put a pipe in my mouth, I'm just doing this. It's just kind of hanging, and then I close my lips and do a puff, and then do my little exhale kind of thing. Just my way of smoking a pipe. But I have a funny feeling that the Sultanelli is going to be a writing pipe. What pipes do you have? Do you have a driving pipe? This is my car pipe. It's light. I can just leave it hanging. I like the bent because you can just hang it. It's not going to impress anybody. I'm going to look more like a hillbilly, or, you know, like a snowman. You know, smoking this right here. I mean, I have like a leather wrapped pipe. I have like a Peterson. I have a Savinelli Church Warden, which I'm going to sell if anyone's interested in that. I'm not crazy about it. I think I've only smoked it maybe 2 or 3 times. It's a moderately priced pipe. If you're interested in the Savinelli Church Warden, let me know. It's black. It was great for photographs, but for me, I don't prefer it. So just leave in a message below if you want to purchase it. I'm going to throw in a couple things, maybe some beard oil and some tobacco that I blended as a gift, because I can't sell anything. You can't sell substances that are controlled. You could sell the pipe, but the substance has to be a gift, obviously. But when I send people things, man, I add so many like, if I send you a pipe, like you purchase a pipe off of me, you think like the box would be like this big. I end up sending it in a box this big, and I'm like putting in beard oil, beard balm, here's a brush, here's a t-shirt, you know, here's a sandalwood beard comb, and like I'm adding all kinds of things to it, and it ends up being like this, like, you know, Christmas morning box for somebody. It's done that before, and that's always been kind of fun, getting their feedback after that. But what do you dedicate your pipes to? And if you haven't, and I'm not talking about dedicating them to tobaccos, I'm talking about dedicating them to activities. I got my car pipes. I've got a reading pipe. I've got a writing pipe. I've got a watching video or watching movies in the Van Gogh room pipe. Consider that. Consider that. It just makes your piping hobby, I call it a thinking man's hobby, because I'm a thinker. Consider dedicating pipes to activities. There's gardening pipes. I know guys that just like when they're working out in the yard or the garden or doing some work, they got a pipe, you know. I like dedicating pipes. It makes it more special. And just like pets, You know, like when you go to a shelter, they say that your pet, if you're into rescuing animals, which I am, if you go to a shelter, they say that your pet picks you, you don't pick it. And I like that. And I would like to say the same thing about pipes. Your pipes pick you. You don't pick them. And if you do pick them, they don't last long, or you ignore them, or you can look at your pipe collection and say, God, I haven't touched this in a year, or 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years. Your pipes pick you. And the neat thing about a pipe is that you are not an owner of it, you're a steward of it, which means that you just have it in your possession for a very short time, because your pipe, realizes your pipe is going to outlive you. Do you hear me? Your pipe is going to be around when you're gone, and someone else is going to own it. That's a pretty heavy thing. We're going to talk about that sometime, about stewardship. You're merely a steward of your pipe and not an owner, because it will outlive you. And I love estate pipes, which is for the new pipe smoker. That's just a fancy word for a used pipe. I have some pipes from my roommate's father, and I let her know as I'm going outside. So many of you know I have a female roommate. If I'm going outside to have a pipe, I would say, I got your dad's pipe here. And she has a smile on her face, and she's like, I'm so glad that you're using that, and that his pipes are being put to good use, because that pipe comforted him through the loss of an adult son, comforted him through some tragedy in his lifetime that I don't want to disclose, some other stuff. And it made him think, when nothing else can comfort a man, a briar pipe or a corncob pipe might be just the medicine that the doctor ordered for you. Something to think about.